Hello viewers, we are here at Nick Presents IWMBuzz India Kids Summit Season 3 and I have with me right now Miss Sonali Bhattacharya ma'am. First of all ma'am, how are you doing?
Hi, so good to see you, and so good to get out of the computer screen and into the real world. So yeah, it feels really nice. I hope you're well too.
Absolutely, you mentioned this very important point ki, you coming out of the virtual world, nothing can really replace human interaction. That's like how the deal is sealed. Nothing, gets more important than that. If we talk about kids in our generation, COVID has been very difficult for everyone, but particularly for kids, that was not an ideal space that we would have wanted them to be in. In that time, you can say as far as creators are concerned, a lot of content explosion happened. So there were content from every area which kids were consuming. What I want to know from your end is that how do creators actually kind of, separate themselves from their contemporaries when it comes to carving out their own niche?
So what you said is true. There is a lot going on in the space and in the industry now, and everybody is trying to cater to the demand of the kid. And with the pandemic, it just boomed in the past 2 years. So I think there are a lot of white spaces that still exist in this category that are yet to be tapped, and as leaders, we aim to do that quite effectively through the research that we do. We meet a lot of kids, and you realize that there are still certain areas that need to be catered to, and that's how we launched Chiku or Bunty recently, which is on the entire sibling rivalry of two brothers, which is such a real story. And I mean, it could happen in your home, my home, where you're always, it's a love and war relationship with your brother or sister. So I think, yeah, it's always a slice of life what you see kids seeking out, which you aim to provide.
Ma'am, in any space of creation, feedback is very important. Now, when you take feedback from adults, it's comparatively easier because the communication happens directly from them. But in case of kids, the communication might not be very clear, but still their feedback is the most important if you're catering to them. So how do you channelize their feedback and make the most out of what you can do?
So, that's where we get a little mistaken. Kids are very, very clear about what they want and what they don't want. I mean, they may be little, but they are very sensible little human beings.
बच्चे हैं लेकिन अकल के कच्चे नहीं हैं.
बहुत बुद्धि है, and they know what they are going to accept and what they are going to reject. And I think the beauty with children is it's that innocence and complete genuineness. If they like something, it's there to see. If they don't like something, they immediately discard it. And that's what keeps us as kids, brand custodians, also always on our toes. What do we do to keep ourselves relevant to this child who's changing every day? And, more so in the pandemic, he's like really grown up overnight. So we seek that feedback very real time, be it through our social, digital. We see on ground opening up now, so we are hopeful that we'll meet a lot more kids than what we could in the past 2 years. So yeah, that's how it works.
Honest feedback always helps. Last question before I let you go. Everybody's talking about virtual reality, that's the future, this, that, metaverse. How do you see Metaverse integrating with kids' content in order to make it more entertaining? Do you see that happening?
Yes, of course. In fact, we just forayed into our first ever entry into the Metaverse with the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. I think we were the first in the category to do so. And it's amazing the kind of response we got with the immersive quality of the content and the marketing initiative that we could do with the screening the Kids' Choice Awards in the Metaverse, and all these avatars of the attendees who were jumping on the slime pool, who were jumping out of the Nickelodeon blimp in the sky. It was so immersive and engaging that I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to see in that space, and be it with gaming, education, entertainment, I think it's going to explode in the next few months.
We've just started climbing the ladder. There's a lot more to go. Thank you so much, ma'am, for talking to us. It's a pleasure indeed. I hope you have a lovely session and looking forward to many more chats in the future. Thank you so much. Pleasure.